Hello everyone, how are you? Today we are going to study the second version of yesterday's code. Today I am going to deal about what are the keywords, what are the important keywords which we use in competitive codings, and what is the definition of identifier, what are the commonly used data types which we used in writing codes, and some variable declaration stuff. So this is the continuation part of yesterday's videos or previous video, which is C++ part 2 part A. So let's get started. So while talking about keywords in C++, keywords are the reserved identifier. Identifier is nothing but it is the declaration of different variables which carry some meanings inside the codes identifiers. So but while talking about keywords, they are built-in identifiers which reserve some meaning inside it, and when we use them we do not the compiler does not have to deal with what exactly is that thing, because the functions of those identifiers are already being established inside the library of C++. So while talking about the keywords, there are more than like 30 plus keywords in C++ library, but while talking about competitive coding, most of them are not used. However, the important one which are most commonly used in competitive coding are given over here. I have shown this on the basis of different categorization. If we talk about data type, in data type like int, char, double, float, enumeration, long, bool, etc. are the keyword which are used when we are dealing with data types. Like they are basically data types. And for conditioning as well as iteration, like if, else, switch, default, for, while, false, true, these all are for conditional as well as iteration. They are also the already reserved word, because we do not have to give what exactly those means. And other important like auto, which we will be using while iterating through arrays and other stuff. And void is as we know that this is the return type. Typed AF we will be using when building our own customized libraries. Template we will be dealing with STL, which is a standard template library of C++. Then we will be getting to know what exactly is template. And beside that, constant, continue, struct, static, new, these all are most commonly used when it comes to competitive coding, as far as I have known. If there is something new, then you can search in Google or you can go for internet, but these are the basic things which we can take care of and we can start competitive coding. While talking about object-oriented programming, which is the best part of competitive C++, it also contains like the authorization, public, private, protected, and class. These all are the things that comes under keyword of C++. Okay, now we are dealt with the keyword. And identifier is nothing. Identifier is just the declaration of variables. For example, if I want to add two numbers, then I will of integer type, then I will do a, which is an integer, and b. Here a and b are nothing. A and b are nothing but they are the identifiers which we user defines it and to carry out different operations. Okay, so let's talk about data type, which is a very important concept in C++. While talking about data type are basically divided. I have divided into a diagram through which we can you can search it. Here data type I have divided into three parts. One is a user defined data type, which contains structure, union, class, and enumeration. Structure are basically used when we will be dealing with linked list and tree type of problems, which is a complex data structure yet very important. And there is built-in, which will be void, integral, and float. And integral, while integrating, there are two type of integral part. One is integers, where we will be dealing with numbers, and there will be character, which we will be dealing with character and strings. Here integer, as we know that integer is nothing but the number which has both positive as well as negative values. While float is also a type of built-in data type, it is also further divided into double, which is an advanced version of float, which can accept the number having greater number of decimal after the main point. Similarly, after dealing with user defined, built-in, and there is also derived data type. For example, array is there, functions, pointers, and referencing. These all are derived data type, which we will be dealing in the coming videos with the example, so that it will make a crystal clear impression upon you. So this is the data structure, different data types which we will be dealing in the coming time. While talking about the most important thing which we basically needs to know as a computer science graduate or a technology enthusiast is when we are dealing with a number having a larger number of digit, and when we declare this number as int, identified a is integer type, and the number is given here, it basically is more than, I think, 9 digit. It is not accepted by the C++. So what exactly I have done is that if you go and search on Google or any books, they will be giving you the range of something, but I have not given a range. But to simplify it, I have told that integer will contain the number which will be having at most 9 digit. So it will consist of number of length, I think this one, okay, 3 4 5 6 7, yeah. After that, if you add any one or two number, it will be overflown by the integers, and integer carry 4 integer, and both long integer has 4 memory bytes. 1 byte is equals to, as we know, 1 byte is equals to 8 bits, so it makes like 32 bits memory space for the integer. And while talking about long integer is the digit size of a number which basically contains more than 9 till 18 digit number. So the similar example when we will be encountering over this kind of thing is that when we will be dealing the problem. For example, in some problem, it will be given that n can be less than equals to 10 raised to the power 9. What it actually means is that your number cannot exceed more than 9 digit in it. So here we can say that integer n can hold 10 raised to the power 9 number, but if it exceed 1, or if we add 2 or number, it will exceed the integer range, so it will be coming overflow. So in that case, what we can use is we can use long integer. Similarly, float prefers 6 digit 1, and then it can be sorry. For example, if the number is 2 and then it can be followed up by 6 digit. Similarly, double, I think it is more than 9 digit, so after 9 decimal after the main part. The float, most of the time we basically deal with long integer, but according to the question, we can use double is far better than using float. Similarly, long integer is far better than using integer, because we do not know, if we don't know the size of constraint, then we can use long integer. Similarly, character is one character byte, and if you have more than one character inside anything, then you can either declare an array of char, or you can basically store that in a string. So this is a two thing. Let me ask you one question. For example, what are the precedence of data type? Precedence of data type means basically I have declared an integer a, and I have declared float b, and if I want to add like a plus b, what will be the data type of that a plus b? It will be the float, because if we see this structure now, then the double comes on the first, then float, then integer, then character. That means the precedence, like the popularity, majority is given to the data type which lies on the top. So if we basically add, there is an example, a plus 1, it basically means here we are adding character and we are adding integer, the data type will be int, and so on. So this is the precedence of data type, and I think this is what we need to know about data type. It is not a big huge thing to know, and in competitive coding the main thing that we need to be knowing is these keywords, and then we can, if we know these things, like what are the range of these numbers, then most of the time our code will be correct and it will not overflow. And I hope this is for the today's session, and from tomorrow's onward we will be dealing with some data structure like array, and we will be dealing with the concept of pointer. Thank you very much.